friends. I have just finished reading the latest book by Robin Sharma, The 5 a.m. Club, and I must say that it has transformed my life for the better. I have signed up for the 66 days challenge along with few friends, and we have been waking up before sunrise since last 20 days. In this video, I'll be sharing some of the most insightful learning from the book that will help you to become a member of the 5 a.m. Club. So, let's get started. The preparation. 5 ground rules. Rule number 1. An addiction to distraction is the end of your creative production. Empire makers and history creators take 1 hour for themselves before dawn, in the serenity that lies beyond the clutches of complexity, to prepare themselves for a world-class day. Rule number 2. Excuses breed no genius. Just because you haven't installed the early rising habit before doesn't mean you cannot do it now. Release your rationalizations and remember that small daily improvements, when done consistently over time, lead to stunning results. Rule number 3. All change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. Everything you now find easy, you first found difficult. With consistent practice, getting up with the sun will become your new normal and automatic. Rule number 4. To have the results the top 5% of producers have, you must start doing what 95% of people are unwilling to do. As you start to live like this, the majority will call you crazy. Remember that being labeled a freak is the price of greatness. Rule number 5. When you feel like surrendering, continue. Triumph loves the relentless. Lesson number 1. The 3-step success formula. Better awareness leads to better choices, which in turn leads to better results. With better awareness of your natural ability to achieve great things, you will rise from the community of superficiality into the society of granularity. This heightened level of insight and consciousness will then optimize your daily decisions. And logically, once you get your daily choices right, you will accelerate your leadership, accomplishment, and impact dramatically. Lesson number 2. The 4 focus of history makers. Number 1, capitalization IQ. Number 2, freedom from distraction. Number 3, personal mastery practice. And number 4, day stacking. Capitalization IQ. What makes a legendary performer so good isn't the amount of natural talent they are born into, but the extent of that potential they actualize and capitalize. Many of the finest athletes in the world had less innate skill than their competition, but it was their exceptional dedication, commitment, and drive to maximize whatever strength they had that made them iconic. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. Number 2, freedom from distraction. An addiction to distraction is the death of your creative production. Strip away all the layers of complexity from your days. Simplify, streamline everything. Less really is more. Concentrate on just a few work projects so you make them amazing versus diluting your attention on too many tasks. Have a few friends but go deep with them so the relationship is rich. Stop managing your time and start managing your focus. Number 3, the personal mastery practice. Everything you do in your outer world is an absolute consequence of what's happening within you. Your fortune always follows your fearlessness. Your influence in the world mirrors the glory, nobility, vitality, and luminosity you have accessed in yourself. External always expresses internal. Without always reflects within. Your creativity, productivity, prosperity, performance, and impact on the planet are always a sublime expression of what's going on inside of you. Number 4, day stacking. As you live each day, so you craft your life. Each of your prized days represent your precious life in miniature. What we are doing today is creating our future. Lesson number 3, the secret of morning genius, transient hypofrontality. When we get up at 5 in the morning, the stillness, solitude, and silence trigger our brain to change the waves from beta to alpha to theta. And then a pharmacy of mastery is stimulated in our brain, which supercharges it. The cortisol levels in the brain decreases. The dopamine and serotonin level increases. The prefrontal cortex then quiets, which allows us to enter into the flow state. Flow is a state of mind when we are truly engaged in the activity that we are pursuing and we lose track of time. This state is most easily achievable in the early mornings because that's when we have the stillness, the solitude, and the silence required. Lesson number 4, the 4 interior empires. To be a genius and successful in the long run, we need to take care of these 4 interior empires: mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set. Mindset refers to the psychological aspect of our being, our thinking, our optimism. Heart set relates to our emotional intelligence. How good are we at managing our own emotions? Health set relates to our physical fitness. And soul set relates to spirituality. How are we connecting to that supreme power? Only by taking care of these 4 empires can we achieve a truly phenomenal living. Lesson number 5, the 5 scientific truths behind excellent habits. Truth number 1, world-class willpower isn't an inborn strength, but a skill developed through relentless practice. Getting up at dawn is perfect self-control training. Truth number 2, personal discipline is a muscle. The more you stretch it, the stronger it grows. Therefore, the summarize of self-regulation actively create conditions of hardship to build their natural power. Truth number 3, like other muscles, willpower weakens when tired. Recovery is, therefore, absolutely necessary for the expression of mastery and to manage decision fatigue. Truth number 4, installing any great habit successfully follows a distinct 4-part pattern for automation of the routine. Follow it explicitly for lasting result. We will see in the upcoming slide what are these 4-part pattern for automation. Truth number 5, increasing self-control in one area of your life elevates self-control in all areas of your life. That is why joining the 5 a.m. club is the game-changing habit that will lift everything else that you do. Lesson number 6, the 3 values of heroic habit makers. Value number 1, victory demands consistency and persistency. Anyone can be great for just one day, but to be great consistently is what is required to become heroic. Value number 2, following through on what is started determines the size of the personal respect that will be generated. Value number 3, the way you practice in private is precisely the way you will perform once you are in public. The one general theory of self-discipline Spartans: to regularly do that which is hard but important when it feels most uncomfortable is how warriors are born. Lesson number 7, the lifetime habit arc. This is the 4-part automation pattern that was talked about in the previous slide. The first step is the trigger. It's the cue that initiates the habit. Once the habit is initiated, we need to follow a particular ritual to continue it. Once we are able to complete the habit, it's time for us to reward ourselves. And once the reward is pleasurable, that's when repetition comes into picture. So by repeating this cycle, by having the right trigger, the right ritual, the right reward, and then repetition, we can ensure that we form the lifetime habit. Lesson number 8, the habit installation protocol. According to research, it takes around 66 days for any habit to become automatic. Now, this 66 days is divided into 3 stages. Stage 1 is destruction, where we destroy our old habit and try to implement a new one. The next 22 days is installation, and this is the toughest phase of all 3. The last stage is integration. This is where the habit slowly starts to become more natural and automatic. Each of these stages are spread over 22 days, making it a 66-day minimum time period to install any new habit. So no matter what you want to inculcate, be it getting up early, be it quitting smoking or eating healthy, exercising every day, whatever it is, stick to it for 66 days minimum. Do not quit in between, even if you feel like quitting. Because only when you stick to it for 66 days can that habit be automated. This is the habit installation protocol. Lesson number 9, the 20-20-20 formula. Now, what do you do when you get up at 5 a.m.? How do you spend the first hour of your day to ensure that your day is exactly how you want it to be? The formula 20-20-20 helps us to do just that. According to this, the first pocket, 5 a.m. to 5:20, is where we have to move. This includes doing intense exercise, sweating, hydrating ourselves, breathing deeply. When we do exercise first thing in the morning, our cortisol levels decrease and our dopamine and serotonin increases, which elevates our mood and metabolism. This means we are ready for the day ahead. We are less stressed and our energy is high. Pocket number 2 is reflect, which is 5:20 a.m. to 5:40 a.m. This is where you ruminate and you reflect on your life. You introspect. You can do it either by meditation or by writing in your journal, by planning your day, by praying or contemplation, anything that feels natural to you. Now, this step helps us to be more aware of our own selves, of our mission, vision, and goals in our life. It ensures that we are in alignment to our greater purpose. Pocket number 3 is grow, which is from 5:40 a.m. to 6 a.m. In this 20 minutes, you have to review your goals, both for life as well as for the week, as well as for the day. You can read books related to your own field. You can hear to audiobooks, podcast, or take some online training course. Whatever it is that you need to do to grow in your respective field. By following this 20-20-20 formula, since last 20 days, I have seen a tremendous improvement in my own daily routine. So I can vouch for this, that this thing really works. Give it a try. Lesson number 10, the benefits of journaling. I am a huge evangelist of journaling. I love to write in my journals. There's a video that I made showing all my different journals and what are the things that I include in my journals. So I was thrilled to see that a complete page is dedicated on the benefits of journaling. Here we go. Journaling multiplies our clarity and awareness. It helps us to know ourselves better. And only by gaining this clarity and awareness, can we be sure of whether or not we are on the right path? Journaling activates deliberate gratitude. Very often in the busyness of our daily life, we forget to feel grateful. By journaling, we can make this act conscious. We can say thank you in our journals for the blessings of the day. It reinforces daily learning. It records where you are winning. It processes low energy emotions for release versus repression. Journaling is a great way to handle your emotions when you are feeling low. I often write down my feelings whenever I feel low, depressed, or even frustrated. And surprisingly, once I am done, I feel so much lighter than when I began. Journaling offers a place to work through confusion. Try this out. Whenever you are confused, just try taking a pen and a paper and start writing whatever comes to your mind. Do not give it a lot of thought, just keep writing. By the end of it, you will realize that you have gained a certain level of clarity about whatever it is that you were confused. Journaling allows for planning and goal setting, so execution improves. As we have heard so many times, what gets written gets done. We have so much on our plate that it is often that we miss a lot of our goals. But by writing them, we keep them in our mind at all times and ensure that we follow through them. Journaling captures your life's best experiences. This is my favorite part. Writing my major accomplishments, my learnings, and then going back to them and reviewing them several weeks or years later. And by seeing how far I have come along, how far I have grown in the last few years, gives me immense satisfaction and fulfillment. Journaling allows you to re experience joyful times. It elevates your creativity, which, when translated into productivity, yields mastery. So, a simple act of writing in your journal can truly elevate your life. So, if there's just one thing that you want to take from this video, take this one. Start writing a journal. Lesson number 11, the pre-sleep ritual. Now, when we're talking about getting up at 5 a.m., it's not really possible until and unless we sleep on time. Getting up at 5 by no means says that we have to sleep less. Instead, what it says is we need to sleep on time and have a quality sleep. Now, this pre-sleep ritual helps us to do just that. From 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., ensure that you have the last meal of the day and turn all your devices off. Try to isolate yourself from overstimulation. From 8 to 9 p.m., you can have family time, you can have real conversation with your loved ones, or you can meditate if you want. You can spend some time reading or listening to audiobooks or podcasts. You can even schedule some recreational pursuits if you want, or take a nice relaxing Epsom salt bath. The idea is just to relax and calm your mind. 9 to 10 p.m. is when you have to prepare for your sleep. Make sure your room is cool, dark, and technology free. You can organize your exercise gear for the next morning. And last but not the least, practice gratitude before you sleep so that you end your day on a high note, on a positive note. By following this ritual, you can ensure that when you get up at 5 in the morning, you are fresh, completely recharged, relaxed, and ready for the day ahead. Lesson number 12, the amazing day deconstruction. In this page, Robin Sharma has deconstructed what an amazing day looks like, starting from 4:45 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Now, things cannot get more granular than this. Every single hour has been allocated with something or the other. Now, this is in no way set in stone. Of course, different people will have different timetable and their needs would differ. But you can take this as a basic guideline and try and reframe this structure according to your needs. By keeping what works for you, I think you can tremendously improve your current lifestyle. Now, there are certain acronyms which we will see in the upcoming slides, like the 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., the 1991 rule, the 60-10 method, and from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. you can see traffic U to WW. So we'll get to learn all this in the upcoming slides. So I'm not going to read out completely. You can have this for reference. You can pause the video, take a screenshot, and follow this ritual. Lesson number 13, the 10 tactics of lifelong genius. Number 1, the tight bubble of total focus. What this means basically is that people who excel in their field stay away from distraction. They work in the tight bubble of total focus where nobody can interrupt them. To execute this, all you need to do is ensure that you have a scheduled routine away from all interruptions and distraction to completely focus on your work. Switch off your mobile phone or turn off all the notification. You do not need ping every time somebody likes your Facebook post or Instagram post. Try doing this. And within few days, you will see a tremendous improvement in your productivity. The number 2 tactic, the 90-91 rule. This rule states that for the next 90 days, use the first 90 minutes of your working hour to focus on one single task that could be the game changer in your line of work or your field. By doing this, you ensure that the first 90 minutes of your day is completely focused on the single most important activity of your career. This alone will give you great results. So try this out. Number 3, the 60-10 method. This method states that after every hour of work, take a 10-minute break. Go for a short, quick walk, drink some water, do some stretches, and then get back to work. By doing this, you ensure that you are not overstressed, you're not sitting at one place for long, and you refuel yourself for the day ahead. Number 4, the daily 5 concept. This concept says that every day in morning, write 5 goals that you want to complete in the particular day so that this day becomes your absolute best day yet. What 5 things have to happen today so that at the end of the day you will feel accomplished, fulfilled, and satisfied? By making these 5 lists every day, you ensure that you are staying on track and moving towards your ideal life. Number 5, the second wind workout. This is what was the part of the pre-sleep ritual as well. We all know workout is great for us, so why just reserve it for the first half of the day? By scheduling a second workout, we can ensure that we are ending our day on an energetic note. So this is something that you can think about, scheduling a second workout in the later half of the day. Number 6 is the 2 massage protocol. This I think is a little bit extreme. According to the book, it advises us to have 2 massage in a week, which I think is a bit too much. But I would still say 2 massage in a month to begin with is not a bad idea. And this would really help us to relax, to gain that energy that we lose throughout the week, and get more refueled. So try this out, the 2 massage protocol. Traffic University is another concept where we can learn during our commute time. either through an audiobook or through podcast or by reading a book. The idea is to not waste the time we spend in commuting. We can accomplish so much more if we utilize the time productively. And that's what Robin Sharma has called as traffic university. Number 8, the dream team technique. Now, we cannot accomplish what we want to accomplish without the help of others. By delegating some of the tasks to our team members, we can ensure that everyone is doing the things that they are good at. So, having a dream team is definitely a critical part of any pursuit. Number 9, the weekly design system. This tactic states that every weekend, preferably on Sunday, sit down and plan your entire week. How does your week looks like? What are the things you want to accomplish in this week? What do you want to do on each day? And by having this weekly plan, you can be sure that you're sticking to your goals. And then further, you can break those goals into daily 5 goals that we were talking earlier. Number 10, the 60-minute student. This tactic states that all the lifelong geniuses study. They study for a minimum of 60 minutes each day. It could be a book about your field, it could be the latest update in your field, it could be a podcast, it could be anything, it could be maybe a talk with your mentor. But the idea is to learn, because the moment we stop learning is the moment we stop growing. So these are the 10 tactics of lifelong geniuses that we can follow as well. Number 14, twin cycles of elite performance. This is a very simple diagram. It states that in total we have 5 assets, which are mental focus, physical energy, personal willpower, original talent, and daily time. These are our 5 assets, and we have to protect these. And the way we protect them is by following this twin cycle: the high excellence cycle and the deep refueling cycle. In the high excellence cycle, we work with complete focus in our tight bubble of total focus without any distraction and interruption. And in the deep refueling cycle, we cool down, we calm ourselves, we relax, we rejuvenate, and then re-energize ourselves. By oscillating between these 2 cycles, we ensure that we do not drain ourselves out while pursuing our life, our dream life. Lesson number 15, use joy as a GPS. In this concept, Robin Sharma has mentioned that we can use joy to guide us to the right path. Spend time with people who spark joy in your life. Spend time in the pursuit that sparks joy, and spend time in the places that sparks joy. So basically, try and avoid anything and everything in your life that do not spark joy. It could be people, it could be pursuit, it could be a place. So when you use joy as a GPS, you ensure that you're not only achieving your goal, rather you are happily achieving them, instead of waiting to be happy after you achieve your goal. So this, I think, is a very, very appropriate concept in today's life, where we are just blindly running behind our goals. By using joy, we can ensure that we are not just accomplishing things, we are happily and joyfully doing it. Lesson number 16, the heroic human cycle. Now, this is the final lesson that has been offered in the book, the 7 virtues of world changers. It's bravery, forgiveness, integrity, understanding, sincerity, politeness, and humility. Unless you possess all these 7 virtues, No matter how accomplished you still are not at your fullest potential. Every great human being has these qualities in them. They are humble, they are brave, they forgive others, they act with integrity, they are understanding, sincere, and polite. To lead is to inspire others by the way you live. To lead is to turn your terrors into triumphs. And more than all else, to lead is to be a force for good on this tiny planet of ours. Today, you get to accept this grand call to raise the standard by which you live out the remainder of your life. Robin Sharma. So, these were the 16 lessons from the 5 a.m. Club. I have thoroughly enjoyed reading and following the tips given in this book, and I strongly recommend that you read it too. If you're interested in joining the 5 a.m. Club and want to become a member of it, do mention in the comment. I look forward to hearing from you.